Hello, it's Jens here, and I want to show you how I made In My Mind from FUNKYHEART. So I want to start by listening through the song once, then just want to talk about how the idea for the song came about, and finally just gonna walk through the instruments one by one and look at the details. So let's hear this. So yeah, that's In My Mind. how this idea come up. It came about from Juice, the developer, because he wrote this music document where he told me all the ideas he had for the music. And for the music for this area, Sunbreak Circuit, he said, breaks are the term used for this sort of glitchy, technological, environmental virus in the world. It is very dangerous, so people always avoid it since it could melt your mind. And that part really influenced me. A world that could melt your mind. He mentioned Shin Megami Tensei 5 and Sonic Frontier as musical references, and yeah, I'm definitely inspired by the Shin Megami Tensei 5 songs. For example, this song, In My Mind, it has both a bass line as well as the piano doubling the bass line. So, and what I mean is it has the bass, right? Playing the bass line. And it has the piano playing the same bass line. So yeah, that was taken from SMT5. But I also came up with some other ideas for this area as well. And I think they are pretty good too. This one is pretty intense, pretty fast paced. More like the reference songs. That bass line goes crazy. Come on, this goes hard as well. I want to show you this part too. Careful. So yeah, this was an unused song idea, and it's still, man, this needs to be released somehow, someday. Same with this other song idea. This one is really like mind melting, because these are song ideas for a world that melts your mind, right? So this one is more like dark and a bit spooky. And I think it's pretty cool as well. Now listen to this bass. That's a disgusting bass. basically what I'm saying is there were 3 bangers made for this area. And in the end we went with probably the prettiest one. Because the song we went with, in my mind, it's not that aggressive really. And it's kind of pretty. Which gives me the feeling that this song's less like you're desperately trying to get away from this environmental mind virus. It's more like you're already corrupted by it and you start to see this world as sort of beautiful. Well, that was how this song idea came about, so let's talk about the instruments one by one. Starting with the drums. This is drum and bass, baby. So we got a drum break loop here. I can't really take credit for this. This is just a drum loop from, pretty sure it's the Jungle Jungle sample pack. That is just simply looped. And that's the drums. Let's see here. Because I have a crash there. And yeah, here we have that famous drum break. Also just loop. Some layering going on. During the guitar solo we have a few other sort of heavier drum breaks. But yeah, drums for the song, just drum loops, break beats. That's all it is. So then let's talk about this little sound effect here, this tape player effect. So what this is the sound of a videotape player fast forwarding a tape. And it's just pitched up and down to make sort of like a melody of the sound. Because when I saw the screenshots you showed me from this area, the Sunbreak circuit, I thought, this sort of feels like being inside of a videotape. A lot of people have called it like a vaporwave look, and I guess it kind of is. And that's where I got this idea that we could use a tape player as an instrument. Then for the bass, I mentioned it before, but it's a upright bass or contrabass or double bass, whatever you want to call it. The big bass that stands up like this and sounds like boom 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 boom. Because I don't know why, but the combination of upright bass and the break beats just sounds so smooth and good and cool. Smooth, right? And yeah, like I said, after a while the piano comes in and doubles the bass line. The piano plays the same bass line basically. And why? Well, it's because they did it in Shin Megami Tensei 5 and it sounded really cool. It makes it easier to hear the bass line as well. There are some chords, and these chords sounds like some kind of synth or something, right? Well, it isn't. It's actually just a brass ensemble, like a mid-instrument brass ensemble, with a rhythmic gate on it, so it's the volume basically turns off and on. That's why it sounds so flickering like brrrr. But this is a brass ensemble and not a synth. Yeah, there's a sort of a pad in the intro, or yeah, sound effect to make it feel dark and spooky. And let's talk about the piano. Let's turn off the other sounds. Okay, and let's talk about the piano. This is a normal grand piano with reverb and pretty heavy compression. Thing is, if you put reverb before compression, the reverb gets compressed as well. Which means that instead of the reverb being like a long soft tail, it's loud all the time. And TLDR, it feels really big. And how I came up with this melody, I literally just played on my keyboard here, improvising, and I sort of came up with this melody immediately, honestly. I think I tweaked it a little bit afterwards to make it just a bit cleaner, but yeah, it just came naturally. We have some bells here in the intro, just sort of teasing the piano melody that is to come. Some vocals. And of course we have those vocal samples like... And... there it is, the namesake of the song. I wanted to say one more thing about the piano. This melody. This melody was Juice's idea, the game developer. Because the first draft I sent him didn't have this middle part at all. And he said he wanted an emotional melody, and he gave Near as an example. So that's when I, added this. And at first I thought this melody sounded kind of cliche, and it kind of is, like that chord progression and this melody, it is a bit cliche, and it works, I guess. I mean, that's why cliches are cliches, right? Because they're used a lot, and they're used a lot because they work. And it ended up being a really good climax to the song, I think. This ending part is what really makes the song it's what really makes the song. Let's talk about the electric guitar. There is a bit of a guitar solo in the middle here. Not too much to say about that, straight shredding, and The effect on the guitar is chorus to make it sound wide and spacey, and also auto-wah. And that's why it sounds like wow 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 wow. Just thought it fit this kind of techno, like strange world that melts your mind. Any other instruments I should talk about? I know I have acoustic guitar on this, but I can't see the freaking... Oh, here it is. Yeah, so in the like post-chorus there is a little bit of acoustic guitar. And it just doubles the bass. Just a bit of an energy rise, and those are all the instruments in the song. Honestly, the music really just makes itself. What do? I like move the hands, but the music, it just comes by itself really.